Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's TCS News. We have a lot of exciting things to talk about today, including cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and a duck with an afro. I'm Ethan.
And I'm Reese. So last week we talked about the metaverse. Today we'll be talking about another form of digital media, NFTs. NFT is short for non-fungible token. Non-fungible means it cannot be replaced. It is a one-of-a-kind digital art form. They can be bought and sold with Ethereum, which is one of the most popular cryptocurrencies, which is currently worth over $5,000. More than 6 million people recently quit their jobs to invest in cryptocurrencies and to make NFTs. A cryptocurrency is a type of currency that uses digital files as money. The files are created using the science of hiding information. Digital signatures can be used to keep transactions safe and let other people check that transactions are real. NFT prices are built on the popularity of the NFT and its company. There could be a very bad picture that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars just because the company is popular. Could you explain what the fees are when trading NFTs, Ethan?
Oh, yeah, of course. One of the biggest fees is the amount of energy consumption it takes during a transaction. This is known as the gas fee. The gas fee is currently $300, but that's only for OpenSea, which is the most popular network where NFTs are traded. $300 isn't the exact cost you need to do. The more money you pay in gas fees, the faster your transaction will be made. If you price it too high, you'll be wasting your money. But if you price it too low, your transaction may take too long and end up not going through in time. If that happens, you won't get any of that money back, which makes it a very risky system. Do you have any stories of people using NFTs, Reese?
Ethan, you won't believe this. I heard one 12-year-old kid made over $400,000 selling an NFT collection called Weird Whales. This consisted of over 3,350 pixel avatars. Some of the very first NFT collections, called CryptoPunks, made over $532 million just for 10,000 pixelated avatars, and their highest priced one being $7.5 million. It is insane how valuable these pixelated avatars can be. What other companies are there, Ethan?
Well, some companies such as the Bored Ape Yacht Club are becoming popular really quickly due to the amount of celebrities buying them. For example, Steph Curry got one for $180,000. Snoop Dogg bought multiple and has about $17 million worth of NFTs. Also, Jimmy Fallon got his for over $200,000. Every NFT this company makes is now worth at least $100,000, with its highest selling at $2.7 million.
Personally, I think NFTs and cryptocurrencies can disrupt the global economy and can hurt someone's wealth. Many people quitting their jobs to sell and buy these cryptocurrencies and NFTs, and their money isn't even guaranteed. Prices fluctuate so often, like buying them is like gambling. What do you think of them, Ethan?
Well, I think that there's a lot of good and bad that can come out of NFTs. It gives artists a chance to become recognized and make good money for their work. It also allows people to buy and sell NFTs, which is a very good way of making money. The negative side to this is for the many people who don't do research before investing money into it. So my advice to anybody trying to get into NFTs or any type of investment in general is to do your research.
Now it's time to tell you what happened in our school this past week. On Wednesday, we had our second Young Playwrights class. This class, we focused on developing our characters for our story. Miss Sapora started by giving us pictures for us to identify protagonists and antagonists that we had seen in entertainment, characters like Batman and Joker, Spider-Man and Green Goblin. She also put other pictures on the screen and had us make up backstories for them. Afterwards, Mr. Zapora gave us 2 pieces of paper to write the names of the 2 characters we all knew. She then collected them and had us go up one by one and choose another student's paper and act out their characters for everyone to guess who they were. My personal favorite was when my brother Ronan sang Let It Go from Frozen because he chose the character Elsa. We all had an amazing time guessing which characters we were playing as. After we had gone through all the papers, Miss Sapora had us think about the names, objectives, and roles of the characters we were creating for our plays. I had a really great time in this class. My favorite part is when we guessed all the characters, and I couldn't stop laughing at some of my classmates' portrayals of the characters.
I really enjoyed this class, and I'm really excited to see where it goes and how everybody's plays turn out. Thank you, Miss Sapora. I can't wait to see what the next class has in store for us. Thursday was also our second class of financial literacy, where we talked about budgeting. A lot of us spend money on things we don't need, so we wrote down fixed, variable, and irregular expenses that we have in our lives. An example of a fixed expense would be a subscription to Netflix because you pay the same price every month. An example of a variable expense would be your electric bill, which comes in every month but can vary in prices. An irregular expense would be randomly buying a concert ticket. We've learned a lot in this class so far, and it's already increased our knowledge on finance and budgeting by a lot.
On Friday, we watched the movie Fences. It is an adaptation of the play Fences by August Wilson. It was an excellent film that stood true to the original play in many ways. Troy Maxon makes his living as a garbage collector in 1950s Pittsburgh. Troy dreamed of becoming a professional baseball player but was too old when the major leagues began admitting black athletes. Troy creates further tension in his family when he squashes his son Chance to meet a college football recruiter, having an affair with another woman, and signing his brother to a mental hospital. Overall, the movie was a pleasure to watch with its depthful characters, great setting, and amazing dialogue.
We had a great conversation afterwards, but I really liked this movie too, and it even made my eyes sweat a little bit at the end. But it was extremely similar to the book and had a really good storyline. After lunch on Monday, we had our very first field trip of the year. We went with Mr. Marvin Hayes, Mr. Greg, and Miss Mary Pat Clark to Filbert Street Garden. Although it was super cold and windy outside, it was a very good experience. First, we learned about composting and how it works. Composting is turning food waste into soil, which Mr. Marvin calls black gold. In their workspace, they compost 800 pounds of waste a week. Not only did we see how it was done, but the students got to actually make some compost as well. After we learned all of the components of composting, we went on a tour throughout the rest of the area. First, we saw the tree garden where they grow Asian pears and mangoes. And then my favorite part was where we met all of the goats and sheep. Every animal they have is trained with humans, so they don't bite or anything. One of the goats kept coming up to me and let me pet his beard, so I named him Chris. The sheep were trying to show who was the alpha while they were separated because one of them broke the fence. So one of the sheep kept ramming into the fence and ended up getting blood all over it. Thankfully, it wasn't a very big deal, and Mr. Marvin was able to take care of it. Then, we moved on to the chicken coop, where we saw a bunch of ducks, swans, chickens, and turkeys. My favorite chicken was the one with an afro. I'm pretty sure he called it the Russian Afro duck, but it looked super funny. Next, we went to the bat habitat, where bats were able to live peacefully without the fear of predators. They also help keep away spiders and mosquitoes by eating them. Lastly, we saw the bee enclosure. There were a ton of bees in there, and to be honest, I didn't want to go anywhere near it. But the bees make honey which they then sell at the farmer's market. Overall, it was an amazing field trip, and I'll definitely want to go back again.
Yeah, I agree, Ethan. It was my first field trip at TCS, and it was awesome. Thank you, Mr. Marvin Hayes, for your awesome way of teaching us about composting, and I love your tour around Filbert Street Garden. Thank you, and I would love to come back. Tuesday, Donald visited his old middle school, 55, to advertise our school to the 7th and 8th graders there. He said many of them seemed interested, so we might see some of them next year.
Now, we'd like to thank everybody who brought in lunches this past week. Thank you, Miss Linda, for the sloppy joes, salad, and brownies on Wednesday. It's so great to have such an active volunteer as you. You're really great, and I really appreciate how much you are constantly helping.
Thank you, Mr. Adam and Miss Lauren from BMC, for the subs and wraps, cookies, and chips on Thursday. I really appreciate all your work in the financial literacy class, and I can't wait for the next one.
Thank you, Miss Sam, for the pasta on Friday. I'm really happy to have you as a part of the school with your amazing lunches, and it's always great to see your kids as well.
Thank you, Miss Carol, for your delicious barbecue chicken casserole and coleslaw on Monday. I'm very grateful for all your lunches, and they taste amazing. You're awesome, and I appreciate all your work in the school.
Thank you, Miss Peg, for another amazing cuisine you always bring in. I really appreciate how much work you put in to make the shepherd's pie, and thank you for the biscuits, Asian pears, and bread as well. That bread definitely tasted like it came straight out of a bakery.
And that's it for this week's TCS News.
Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you come back next week.